All right, bell ringer for today. Describe PJ's cognitive developmental stages and the developmental perspective of psychology. There we go. Use some time to work on that. You can draw it out if you like. That's fine. And once you're finished, I'll come around and check them. Those of you at home, please submit them. You have till midnight tonight to do that. Those of you in here, I'll just come around and check. It's a little bit of a longer one, so I'll give you an extra time. How about 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes? We need more time? We good to go? 1 more minute here. How about 1 more minute? On the clock. All right, so PJ's cognitive developmental stages. Let's start off with the first stage. What is it? What do we got? What's the name of it? How about we work our way around the room? Sarah, let's start with you, the first stage. Sensory motor, good job. And what age frame is that? Birth to 2 years old, good job. What about some characteristics with that one?
Just toddlers using their senses to figure things out because they have to understand.
Good. Good job. Good job. So sensory motor, plain and simple, sensing the world around them. So constantly feeling, touching things, putting things in their mouth, visualizing, hearing, you name it. Okay. A lot of their toys are based off this sensory motor cortex, right? Where people, well, children would play around with different types of knobs and lights flashing and sounds, you name it. All right, good job. So the sensory motor stage. All right, good job. Good job. What do we have? What do we have? Next one. Booker? Yeah, the pre-operational. Good job. What age frame is that? 2 to 7 years old. And what type of characteristics we have there? Yeah, the intuitive age. So constantly imagining things, thinking objects are maybe real, imaginary friends. There's egocentrism there. So, they can view the world just through their own eyes. Mine, 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 me, right? Types of things. Questioning constantly. So why? Why do these things do the things they do? Whatever it might be. Good. Good job. So pre-operational, good. 2 to 7. Hannah, what do you have for the next one? Okay, the concrete operational stage, 7 to 11. What do we have there? What kind of characteristics?
That's where you start to know stuff and smell and taste and walking.
Okay, all right, so building more of a connection to things, right? So inductive reasoning, forms of deductive reasoning, so we're understanding the world around us. Okay, we're picking up on some reading, writing, math skills. We see the world maybe in other people's perspectives as well. We're starting to pick up on that. Science fiction's a thing that a lot of children still believe at that time. Okay, that could mainly happen or occur, could be realistic. Good job. All right, what else do we have, Z?
Formal operation from adolescence to adulthood.
Formal operational, good job. So that's the last stage. That's the last stage of development that Piaget talks about, and that's with rational thinking, accepting new perspectives, and critiquing work, and critiquing different types of rationale. Okay, rational thinking, you name it. Good job. Building relationships with people, emotional ties. Good job. All right, and that's the last stage of his development, right? So this is pretty much what from what age group is that again? What do you have?
Adolescence to adulthood.
Yeah, adolescence to adulthood, right? So pretty much 12 to when we die. Right? So we're still picking up on different types of artwork, literature, accepting new beliefs and ideals. Good job. Is there any questions on that? The developmental stages that Piaget created of the developmental psychology. All right. So again, that's another approach, another perspective. Okay, I want to talk about 3 today, which one of them is kind of a review. It's detailed a little bit. We already talked about that with personality, with Freud. So that's going to be kind of a little bit of a review. And how about I give you time at the end of class to work on vocab and kind of, it's a Friday, right? Let's just relax a little bit. What do you think? All right. So real quick, cognitive view. So cognitive view is just really how we make perceptions, right? Where we create memories, it's a state of consciousness, okay, that we present, that we're constantly thinking about, that we're thinking of at that current time period. So expectations, okay, we're picking up on information and different types of information and ideas from our surroundings, our environment. So the cognitive view is just how we react, how we interact with our current environment. With this could be making thoughts and beliefs and ideas and perceptions of the environment around us. Okay, picking friends, peers, right? Forming relationships with people around us. So in other words, cognitive view is just how we learn. Okay, how we try to fit in our surrounding world, our environment. Okay, how we pick up these new different expectations through experience. Okay, how we build different types of memories of events and try to learn off of these events. how we're forming and scheduling, right? How we're making objectives. The cognitive view is just our process of learning, our ability to experience the world around us and try to form objectives and schedule around that. And just our thought process, our conscious mind. Does that make sense? All right, cool. All right, so cognitive view, explain even more. So this is really a combination of what we talked about with structuralism, functionalism, Gestalt psychology, okay, how a lot of these ideas and observations, right, our ability to make decisions is based on the world around us. It's really just our thought process, in simpler terms. So interesting stuff with Noam Chomsky. Okay, this was an idea, this nature versus nurture, right? This was the idea of how we react to the world around us. Are we born with these ideas, or do we learn them over time through experience? Okay, through different types of challenges that we're faced through memory. And Noam Chomsky kind of combines those two theories together. And next chapter, I have a small case study. It's just a experiment that was done back in ancient times, which was trying to predict if people actually were born with a natural language or if they pick up language and over time. And Chomsky in the 1960s, he came up with this theory, this idea that people actually have a sort of a blank slate. Okay, that yeah, we pick up different types of adjectives, nouns, and sorting of sentences and basic structures of language through experience, that we do learn these types of things. But he also did say that we are pre-wired. We're born, right? Before we're born, right? With this idea that language can be easily comprehended, that we can understand language at a very young age. Okay, we might not know what adjectives are. We might not know what nouns are, and ways of describing certain things and formulating sentences. That's something that we do learn over time. But he did actually say, you know what? We are born, we are pre-wired with this ability to cognitively understand language. Okay, that we can pick up language at a quick, fast rate at a young age. Okay, that's kind of studies through with foreign languages, especially. The best time to learn foreign languages is at a very young age, because our mind can develop and cognitively understand and associate different types of language with, well, compare it with different languages around the world and cultures around the world. Okay, as the mind is forming. That's kind of what people critique today, that it's good that we're learning different languages in high school, but it's a little bit too late, right? That's kind of what he's arguing, what he's saying, that if we learn these languages, these different types of languages at a younger age, we can understand and grasp the knowledge and make connections to it and cognitively understand and process this information within our mind and memorize it and understand it at a better depth than what we do when we're older. Okay. But anyway, he's combining these ideas of this blank slate method that Greek philosophers came up with back in ancient times, and building on Renaissance thinking that we learned it over time through experience. Language can be built on, and it can be expressed more, and it has the ability to expand through learning and through experience. All right, there we go. So psychodynamic view, we talked about this already, guys. So Freud's theory of personality, okay, how these hidden motives, the unconscious mind, is driving our everyday objectives, our everyday scheduling, our everyday life, our personality. That the unconscious mind, even though it's deep underwater, that we still hide it, that drives us who we are. Okay, that's driving us to build relationships with people and friends and peers and partners, and how that is constantly driving us to make objectives and build who we actually are. Even though we have a front, we have a conscious, we have an ego, right? Even though we have good moral characteristics, guidelines that we need to follow, these ethical codes, our unconscious mind drives us who we are. And he also states because that unconscious drive, the id, right, pushes us through these ideals. Our personalities built through our unconscious mind, that we are actually, even though we're trying ethical guidelines and codes are trying to push us to be a certain person or enact certain ways, it still comes out. It still drives us to of who we are, to build a personality of who we actually are. And with traumatic events, especially, right? Maybe it's just the loss of a loved one. Maybe it's previous relationship issues or problems. Okay, that might guide us. These traumatic events might guide us to build new relationships with people, or maybe put up a front, a wall, to prevent us from reaching out and forming new relationships. I think we can all agree to that, right? Like, let's say we're hurt in the past, right? And we got dumped, and the person we loved at one time is, I don't know, building new relationships with other people. It's like, oh man, I don't want to try to reach out and get hurt again, right? That's kind of what he's saying. How our unconscious mind is really driving us of who we are. A lot of people kind of push his theory, his ideas to the side because it brings sexual interests into it a little bit too much. He focuses too much on the sexual pleasures and drives that people have. All right, the last thing I want to go over, humanistic psychology. Humanistic psychology. All right, so humanistic psychology, it emphasizes human ability and growth, potential and free will. So it talks about our emphasis on mental thoughts, okay, and our roots of our behavior. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, especially with humanistic psychology, is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy of needs to move to where we eventually will have self-actualization, where we'll eventually have that ability to feel comfortable, to relax, and to really break out, to show who we actually are, to find our interests that we're driving for, looking for, right? So real quick, building off this hierarchy of needs, again, our goal is to reach this self-actualization, this comfort level where we can relax, put our feet up, watch some TV, play video games, find the avenues and entertainment that we desire. Let's face it, does everybody want to be at school right now? No, heck no, I want to go home. I want to just have fun with friends. We want to experience a hobby that we actually like, extracurricular activities or something like that, right? I'm going to guide this over here, so draw this up. So it really shows it as a pyramid. Maslow explains it as a pyramid. Make sure you guys know this here too, it's very important. So where do we start? Where do we start? So this hierarchy of needs. What does every person need, absolutely needs to live? What do we think? What do you need, Sarah, to live?
Food and water.
Yeah, food and water. That's a great spot to start. Yeah, food and water. So we're going to start off here with our physiological needs. Our physiological needs. That's number one. We need food, right? We need water. We need air, right? Oxygen. Okay, so our physiological needs, that's our first step. Okay, that's our first step. In other words, we need our basic needs, right? We need our ability to eat, drink, live, okay? But what's next? So once we're provided food, once we have water, once we have air to breathe, what's next? What do you think is next anyway? Go ahead, Sarah.
So like social interaction.
Not yet. You're close. You're close. We're getting to that point. What's next, though? So in order to try to, or in order to come to school, go to your job, to make a living, what do you need? What do you need here? What do you need? Obviously, if you're constantly in danger, if someone's out to get you, or if there's no rules or guidelines, if there's no rules or laws or anything to protect yourself, can you really achieve the next step? No, you need safety, right? So safety needs, okay? Safety. We need to feel safe. We need to feel safe. So that's many cases, right? Security, protection. In many ways, this could be a way of self-defense. But in basic reasoning, we need a house, right? We need a house. We need a place where we can go home at night and make sure that we're safe, that no one's going to try to break in. Okay, we need a house, an area, a place where we can rest at the end of the day and make sure that the environmental impacts aren't damaging us, making us sick, or someone might not break in and kill us. Right here, that's a branch, the basic needs. That's what he describes. We need first, the basic needs. In order to move up this ladder, we need these basic needs. All right, Sarah, you mentioned it then. What else do we need?
Social interaction.
Yeah, love and belonging, right? Love and belonging, okay? So this is like friends, right? Peers, relationships. Okay, love and belonging. We need these types of interactions with people that make us feel comfortable, make us feel safe. Okay, really just what keeps us going, right? What keeps us going to our 9-to-5 jobs, supporting our family. Okay, having our relationships where we care about some other people that care about us. All right, what else is next? What do you think is next? So once we have our physiological needs, once we have our food and water, our security, our safety, then we have our love and belonging, we have our relationships, our friend groups. What else do we need? Sarah, go ahead.
Is it like some sort of moral development?
Yeah, yeah. Good job. Good job. So this is like self-esteem. Self-esteem. Like the song The Offspring. You ever hear that? 'Cause I got no self-esteem. That's a feeling of accomplishment, right? Feeling of accomplishment. So that what we're doing, our job, right? Our way of life is meaningful. Okay, what we're doing and what we're achieving is something that we can pride ourselves on. Let's face it, right? If you don't like your job, uh, you don't like your standing, your social standing, your economic standing, you have to change it. You have to look for and strive for better. This might be something like going to college and going to university, furthering your education, uh, looking for that pay raise, some shape, some form, taking pride in what you do. Self-esteem. In many cases, right, self-esteem could be many different things. Some people might have pride just with their Minecraft creations, right? I don't know. Who knows? And that is psychological needs, right? Psychological needs. If we know we're building sound relationships, if we know that we are performing at our best ability, and we're doing the things that we need to accomplish to make ourselves feel good about ourselves, building up our self-esteem, and setting up sound relationships with friends and peers, then we know we are moving in the right direction. Okay? And that reaches the final spot here. What's the final spot? What is that? Sarah, go ahead.
I'm just guessing here because I've read about some psychologists saying it's like an essential thing, conscientiousness and all that, but like dreams,
Yeah.
the unconscious drives.
Yeah. So you're reaching your inner self, I guess you could say, right? This is your self-actualization. That's what we'll label. Self-actualization. Self-actualization. So this is like creative activities, right? This is feeling comfortable, right? Of who we are. This is, in a way, we're reaching our own comfort zone. I guess you could say this is right at the end of the day, right before bed. What do? We always do something that we're interested in. Our relaxation period. Okay, I guess we could throw that out too if you want. Relaxation period. Okay, this is where we feel comfortable with what we achieved in today's course, today's objectives that we wanted. Okay, and this is our last stage here. Self-fulfillment. All right, bad handwriting. Self-fulfillment. That we know that we achieved everything we set out to do today. Okay? We achieved everything. I think we can all agree to that. Once we wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? You should do anyway. Some of you maybe skip it. I always go for some coffee. Love it. Love it. You get some. You get breakfast, right? You eat. Okay. You drink some water. Okay. You get out of bed. You roll out of bed. You feel comfortable with our physiological needs. We achieved it. We ate our breakfast. We're ready for the day. For me, it's coffee. Get my first cup of coffee. Okay, and then our safety needs. We know we have a house. Okay, we have a living. Okay, where we can come back and feel comfortable and make sure that there's no danger that we might face. Love and belonging, our relationships, our friend groups, our peers. Okay, it might be our family members, right? That we know that we belong where we're at. We feel comfortable around our friends and our peers. We have people we can lean on in certain hard times. And through success as well, we can celebrate together. And that's our physiological needs, right? With our self-esteem, feeling accomplished about what we're doing. And if we don't, right, we need to try to move in the right direction. That's self-actualization or self-fulfillment. Does that make sense, guys? Maslow's hierarchy, that fits into humanistic psychology. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. Reminder, next week we'll probably have a quiz, okay? We'll probably have a quiz. I just want to let you know about it. So don't worry about it Monday or Tuesday yet. We'll probably be midweek.